Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's Stephanie with Lumiri Star. Today what we're going to do is take a look at, what do I have here? I have 5 decks that are new to me, but they're also like new on the deck market. And I have been graciously sent these decks for review. So normally when I get decks, I'll kind of like unbox them with you all for the first time. But this time I decided to like unbox these like on my own time and at least have a chance to work with them a little bit. So that way I could give you kind of like more information on like how these worked for me, like my experience with them and that type of thing. So let's just get into the decks because that's the fun part. Again, these are all like new on like the market, like newly published. So that's really exciting. I have 4 from Rockpool and 1 from Findhorn Press. So we're gonna start with the Rockpool decks. So the first deck that I worked with is the Earth and Bone Oracle. So this is by Syrian Shadow. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it says, honor the concepts of rebirth and transformation. So I'm going to read a little bit. Well, I'm just going to read the back. This haunting yet alluring oracle is tailored to help readers grow and heal spiritually. The mysterious illustrations of skulls combined with nature reflect the changing seasons and the cycle of life. With a strong emphasis on nature's duality, the messages are about transformation and achieving the ideal balance between dark and light elements. These cards can help you establish a connection with your guides, reveal the shadow, and assist with a transformative and empowering journey. So this was really cool because this deck was actually already on my wish list. Like I wanted to check it out. And I really liked it from what I've used it so far. This deck is perfect in my opinion for the darker months of the year, which we are going into now. I love all the skulls and the bones. I love the duality with like nature kind of in the illustrations as well. This deck gives me total like Persephone vibes. And for anyone who's been following me, you might know that like Persephone is a goddess and a deity I work with closely. So this deck just totally gives me Persephone vibes. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I feel like it's just a really awesome deck for just like it says, like rebirth and transformation. This time of year, I really kind of like I'm drawn to shadow work, as many people are. Currently on my altar, I have the death card because fall gives me all that like death card energy of surrendering, letting go, and like making space for transformation. So this has like this whole deck feels very like death card energy to me. So that's awesome. These are the backs, which are really pretty. And these have, I don't think I have any decks. I don't know if the camera is picking up the correct color, but it's kind of like a bluish teal. Again, I don't know how it's showing up on camera, but I don't have any decks gilded with that color. And normally I don't like, you know, the gilding on mass market decks, but it's a fun color and I don't have anything like that. So that's really cool. So I'm just gonna, let's see, do I want to like flip through? I'll flip through these quickly so you can see the images and just get kind of an idea of what the cards look like. So we have a title here, and then I like how we didn't just leave it with the title, like beast, I'd be like, okay, but we have like 3 kind of like sub keywords. So conflict, competition, and oppressors. And we have that for all of them, which is really nice. Again, love all the skulls and the bones. This is like so great for this time of year. And I was already thinking, I love this card too. I was already thinking of decks because I haven't paired this with anything yet. I've just worked with this and I've done some journaling. But some decks that I think would work really nicely with this is the Antique Anatomy, which I have, the Memento Mori Oracle by the same creator, Claire Goodchild. I think that would pair really nicely. I don't have this deck, but it's on my wish list. I think this would pair really nicely with the Hush Tarot. What other decks do I feel like this would pair nicely with? I mean, it would pair nicely with a lot of decks, I think. Those are just some off the top of my head. Like, look at these images. I love this. Yeah, I think it also my Oracle of Oddities, which again, all Claire Goodchild, it has that same kind of aesthetic of like the juxtaposition and the duality of like skulls and bones and death, but also like flowers and botanicals and life. And I really like that that duality, the life and the death coming together. So I just really enjoyed this deck. And what I'll do is I'll actually pull a card for us and just do, like, I'll read from the guidebook so you kind of have an idea of how this deck reads. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great deck for shadow work. And when I use oracles on their own, I use them for my journal practice. So I did use this a handful of times before I'm sharing it now. And I would just pull like one. Did I pull? Actually, I think one time I pulled like one card, and a couple other times I pulled like a 3-card spread. And it gave me so much like meatiness that I, not only with the guidebook that I could kind of sink into, but also like intuitively. So I was able to get really great journaling prompts from this. So that was really cool. Let's take a look at the guidebook real quick. It's a kind of standard rock pool guidebook. So we have a table of contents, so you can go right to the card you're looking for. A little introduction, which I have not read. How to use your cards. If you're kind of new to this, you have information on that. Very simple spreads. And then we get right into the oracle messages. So we have, you know, your message, and then each one has an affirmation, which I really liked. So let's just pull a card. So let's see. I'm going to focus right now on just anything I need to know from the universe. Please feel free to do the same or ask a question, whatever feels best. And just know whenever you're watching this, this message is for you. You can take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so let's pull from the bottom. Sorcerer. So ambition, willpower, and creation. So let's take a look at this image. Oh, you know what deck I also have that would look really nice with this is the Flux Arcana Tarot, which is all like skeletons. I think that would look really cool too. So maybe I'll play with that pairing this month. I think that would look really nice. Okay, so let's read. I'm just going to read directly from the guidebook so you kind of get a little like flavor and tasting of like how this reads. So our keywords here are ambition, willpower, and creation. So it says, attraction is an inner process based on how you choose to think or react. Never operate from deficiency or lack. Circumstances have very little to do with reality. It's your attitude towards circumstances that reflects your reality and life. Take what you are and accept it. You are not deficient. I needed to hear that today. You are unique. Be the kind of person you choose to be. Everything that comes your way is an opportunity and a blessing. Celebrate it. Take control of your thoughts. You have the power to make your life absolutely perfect. I love that. The image in your mind manifests into reality. The key to having any desire is visualization. Believe it. Even when circumstances get you down, understand that there are no mistakes and everything in this world is a miracle. There is a lesson in everything. Celebrate the lessons. When you begin to change thought into quality thinking, or change your thinking from how things appear and practice being grateful for every lesson, you unlock the flow of your desires. This is so funny because I was literally, I didn't pull cards from this deck this morning, but when I did my morning practice, I pulled a different card from a different deck, and it was all about like manifestation and like focusing on your thoughts to create the vision and to create the energy. So it's really funny that I'm pulling that again. And then the affirmation here is, I ignite my soul's passion to live my highest potential. I am willing to believe that I am creating all my experiences. So I think that's really powerful. And like, that's what you get from one card. And like, I was also doing like 3-card pulls. So like, let's just say That's the message. We need to really focus on harnessing our thoughts so we can manifest the reality we're trying to. How can we do that? So I'm just going to pull from the top. No, that's not shuffled. So let's do that again. Let's shuffle this properly. All right, so how can we kind of harness our thoughts, really focus in on our vision to manifest what we want in life? Portal, so originality, idealism, and progression. So I'm going to read from our guidebook again. So this says, this is a transformative moment in your life when you're about to walk through the door into a new world. You can use this wisdom or experience to your advantage if you create a new perspective through self-development. So that's how we're going to do that. We have to work on self-development in order to get that new perspective and new thinking. Go forward, dear one. You are protected by divinity's circle of love. In the direction you flow, there is new earth, or should we say, fresh beginnings to be discovered. This is a natural progression in the right direction. Let go of the negative emotions that are no longer serving you. This trust in Spirit's guidance. You'll be safe under their protection. Drop the layers of security and embrace your vulnerability. So you really got to take some chances here to do that. You may face adversity as you go against the grain, but your wisdom is grounded and rooted in Earth's nurturing energy, and you will flourish as a result. Release the responsibilities of feeling trodden on as you begin to dig beneath the treads that others have imprinted on you. Permit the water to wash over you and carry any burdens away. There is comfort and solace in solitude as you break loose from the herd. The seeds that have been sown are continuing to grow, and despite the rocky ground, your roots are firm, allowing your aspirations to flourish. You begin by learning how to walk, then dug beneath the surface to remove trespassers' imprints. You sowed your seeds and watched them grow and flourish. You are about to be given the opportunity to reap their bounty. Your inner calling is inviting you to reflect on the past and heal from it so you can embrace a fresh start. So what I'm hearing is a lot of your thoughts, actually, some limiting beliefs that are preventing you from manifesting what you want are from your past. So you're going to kind of have to dig them up, process them, and like be able to let them go, like heal from them so you can move forward with that fresh start. And the affirmation here is, I am evolving every day. I am an expression of consciousness in physical form. So yeah, I think in order for you to manifest, you've really, again, got to get control of your emotions, and your emotions are largely tied to your belief systems and the limiting beliefs you've probably picked up in your past. So we've got to really kind of work through them. So I just think this deck is really awesome. I'm so grateful they sent this to me because I really wanted to buy this anyway. And yeah, I would love to know what you all think of this deck. If this is something you're interested in, some shadow work or just a deck to connect with for the darker months of the year. Again, this is Earth and Bone Oracle by Syrian Shadow, and this is a rock pool deck. So that's our first deck that I checked out, and I'm really excited to work with. So that's deck number one. Deck number two, let me take a sip of my tea real quick. Okay, I noticed I feel like I talk fast, so I'm trying to make a conscious effort to slow down. So I have some tea. I will be taking sips of that and just kind of like not rush through this, just enjoy this. So the next deck that I kind of reviewed and kind of worked with so far is the Witching Hour Oracle. It says Awaken Your Inner Magic. This is by Lorraine Anderson. So she is one of the creators of the Seasons of the Witch series. So that's really cool. We've got a different illustrator. The illustrator is Olivia Berkey. Again, this is a rock pool deck, and I'm just going to read a little bit from the back. It says, Awaken Your Inner Witch. Lorraine Anderson, best-selling author of the Seasons of the Witch Oracle series, was inspired to create this deck at a time when she doubted her spiritual path and questioned her beliefs. The energies channeled through this deck helped her to rediscover her true self, and now she offers it to you to support you as you step into your true self. This oracle deck will guide you to the answers that are already within your spirit, helping you unlock the wisdom and courage to overcome spiritual blocks, follow your dreams, and manifest the best version of you. Each card in this deck represents a step in the journey to awaken your inner witch. So this is a 44 card deck, and I think I forgot to mention Earth and Bone is a 42 card deck, just so you know. All right, so let's take a look at this deck. Again, we've got the nice, you know, rock pool box. These are kind of like that soft touch finish, and we've got the thumb hole cutouts. That was the same with Earth and Bone. And we've got our guidebook. These are the backs. Very pretty. And we've got this like kind of like pale yellow edging, which is interesting. I do like that it's not gilded, so it just feels kind of softer in your hands. Okay, so with this deck, I will say, again, this is just personal preference and aesthetic. The artwork wasn't like my favorite. It's pretty. It's very pretty. It's pretty. It's not my favorite artwork. I will say that. I like the subtitles for the keywords. So seeing the bigger picture, reset, like this is what I was working with when I was playing around with this deck. For witching herbs, we've got nourishment, feeding crows. Like, I'm so glad that we have a keyword, because if it was just feeding crows, like, I don't like working with oracle decks that just kind of have that and they don't give me something more to sink into. So I like how, you know, we have the kind of like witchy title here, and then we have our keyword underneath. I will say this deck felt surprisingly nurturing. I wasn't really expecting that. And I guess I didn't know what I was expecting because this deck wasn't on my radar. But it felt like it gave me the messages I needed in that moment. And I liked the way the guidebook was written. I do like this card. It feels very cozy. Witch's Brew, seek alternative solutions. And, you know, we have some shadowy cards. So Mud and Moss, stagnation. Let's see what else we have. The artwork is cute. It really is. I can see this kind of pairing with a lot of modern decks too. It's just not like my favorite type of artwork. But let's, actually, let's take a look at the guidebook real quick. So we've got, again, our glossary here, table of contents, introduction, how to use the cards. We've got a card spread, blah, 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 blah. Interview your deck spread, 3-card spread. Oh, I did want to note this. There's a lot of really cool spreads in here, so I do actually want to try these. So bathing in the river, this is a weekly self-care check-in, finding your coven, getting to know new friends. I like that. Phases of the moon, elements spread, forest spread, book of spells. So like these are really creative and I like that. Oh, another thing I liked, see now I'm remembering now that I'm looking through this book. Another thing I liked is that for each card in here, it gives a tarot companion. So if you already work with the tarot, it kind of gives you like, you know, if you pull knowing, tarot companion energy is the high priestess and the fool. So I think that's a really cool added touch. And then there's other like oracle companion cards that are in this deck. So if you pull both of those cards or multiple of these cards, it kind of changes the meaning. So I think that's really unique and I liked that. So let's just pull a card from this. Let's see what we need from the Witching Hour Oracle. I will also say that, like, you know, my own practice kind of waxes and wanes too. And sometimes when I get stressed out or overwhelmed or burnt out with life, sometimes my practice is my crutch. And sometimes like, I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to pull cards. And I feel like I've kind of been in that space lately where I'm just kind of meh. So, you know, kind of just as Lorraine Anderson said on the back of the box, like she created this when she was kind of like, what did she say? Questioning her beliefs. I'm not questioning my beliefs, but I feel like my practice needs some invigoration. So this deck could be nice for that. All right, so what do we need right now from the Witching Hour Oracle? So we've got familiar deep bonds. I will read from the book. So the tarot companion for this is Two of Cups. So we are really wanting some companionship and deeper bonds. Okay. So it says here, the connection between witch and familiar is a deep fate-like bond. A familiar usually appears when a witch desires one, but also when a witch is ready to welcome this kind of bond into their life. Therefore, this card is about soulmate connections. It's a favorable card for finding love and for those seeking richer relationships. Now may be a good time to seek the comfort and support of others. Pay attention to new people coming into your life as they have the potential to be lifelong connections. You may feel a sense of familiarity as if you've known them for years, and perhaps you have. This person may have been a part of your story over the course of many lifetimes and is here once again to support you on your path. If you have inquired about a specific person, receiving this card is reassurance to trust them and allow them into your heart. If you are already in a relationship, this is a sign of renewed respect and commitment. However, familiar comes with a gentle warning. The presence of this card merely means the connection is available to you. Meeting and having a soulmate connection doesn't mean your relationship will be easy or like a fairy tale. Be mindful to nurture this relationship to ensure its long-term health. So again, this has Two of Cups energy, which I really love that it kind of like called that out. And then again, it has some companion cards. So I'm not going to really pull a second card, but this is Forgotten Ghosts, but like, and that's not considered a companion card. But if I were to pull a companion card, it would kind of give like an added meaning, which I think is really cool. So yeah, this is the Witching Hour Oracle. It feels rather kind of nurturing and grounded, and that surprised me. This deck really wasn't on my radar at all, but I do like the way the guidebook is written. I like that there's tarot references in there. So I'm going to continue working with this one and use this in my journal practice as well. So I'll let you all know how that works out. But let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts were on this one, the artwork, the guidebook, just the premise of this deck. If you already have it, what you think. So let me know down below. All right, so third oracle we're going to take a look at. This is the Magical Spirit Oracle, The Brilliance of You. This is by Alexis Rackin. And again, this is a rock pool deck. Okay, and I'm going to read the back here. So it says, awaken your magic and remember who you really are. Stop underestimating your own magic and deepen your connection with spirit. Let these oracle cards take you on a voyage of self-discovery, a sacred journey of witches, talking trees, creative archetypes, and mysterious portals. Each card shares practical wisdom, rituals, and manifestation practices to empower you and apply to your own life, as well as potent affirmation spells to cast. And I like this line right here. It says, it's okay to forget and then remember over and over again. So this is a 44 card deck, and basically this is a deck that's helping you like kind of like come home to yourself or get to know yourself more or reconnect with yourself. And I like that premise. Let's move these over here. These are the backs. I actually really like this artwork. I feel like people could probably take or leave this artwork, but it has like kind of like a weird, and I mean that in a good way. I'm not calling the artwork weird, but it's got like this kind of like retro art style, and I like that. So yeah, so we've got these kind of like bigger kind of brown borders, which I don't mind. We've got the artwork, we've got our kind of keyword and then sub keywords. So we'll just kind of flip through this real quick for you. And then we'll do a 1 card pull to see how it reads. And this one, when I use this, again, I was really surprised by all these decks. It really gave me the message that I needed in that moment. Just something for me to kind of reflect upon, to kind of go inward. Just a way to reconnect back to myself. And I thought that was really, really lovely. For some reason, I feel like this deck would pair nicely. I don't know why. You probably will all think this is super random. I think this will pair really nicely with like the Serpent Fire, because that also kind of gives me like a retro feminist feel. yeah, I don't know why, but I want to pair it with that. But let me know, just looking at the artwork, like what you would pair this with. So let's just, yeah, let's pull a card and see what comes through as just a message for us, like a message how to either connect with ourselves, get to know ourselves better, take care of ourselves. All right, let's see. We have pulled number 9, your energy is valuable, protect it well. So the keyword is protectress, strength, boundaries, amulet. So I'm going to read from our guidebook. So the affirmation, they all do come with affirmations and then your write-up. So our affirmation for this one is, I'm spiritually and energetically protecting myself. And the message, your strength and self-magic are desired and admired by people who unconsciously or consciously seek to leech this energy from you, as they have not cultivated it within themselves yet. They don't mean this maliciously. They live filled with fear and insecurity while you are in a space of self-trust and connection. They have not yet overcome certain obstacles as you have, or received the inner gifts that come with that. Be precious with your energy and set fierce boundaries. Energy is a high form of currency, just as time is, and must not be wasted on insignificant things or undeserving people. This can create stagnation. Your heart is very open right now, but you also need the balance of your mind. Use both tools for full activation. You've gained a lot of strength and love for others, but this doesn't mean you need to tap into that reservoir so often, warrior. Your spirit needs rest, play, joy, creation, and time to just be. This is where it thrives. Protect your soul's need for childlike play and rejuvenation. Protect your inner child. Let them pick flowers and daydream instead of having to only be the strong one. Sometimes others can unintentionally cast curses when they have feelings of jealousy towards us. Again, they don't mean this maliciously. They are in a space of lack and scarcity where the ego convinces us that there isn't enough. There may be someone you might need to protect yourself from, whether spiritually, psychologically, or energetically. Not to worry, you can easily do this. Harness protective amulet energy. An amulet is an object, either natural or man-made, endowed with special powers to protect or bring good fortune when kept near. So this one maybe, well, you know what? That one did kind of resonate with me. Just kind of protecting my own energy, and also the piece of like having some joy and childlike energy. That's something I'm definitely working on right now, because when I get stressed and overwhelmed, that's like the first thing that goes out the window. So that one resonates for me, and just having boundaries with like work and people who require things of me. So like that resonates for me. I'm curious if that resonates for you as well. So this is the Magic Spirit Oracle. Also really interested to see how this is as a journaling deck for me. So I'm definitely going to be putting this in my basket of decks that I'm going to be using for my journal practice. So let me know what you all think of this deck down in the comments below. Also let me know if this artwork does speak to you. What would you pair it with? Let me know. All right, so this is the last deck from Rockpool. This is a tarot. This is the Mythos Tarot, Guidance from the Greek Gods. So this is a deck that I will admit I probably wouldn't have normally picked up. But basically this is an entire deck that each card in the tarot is guidance from the Greek pantheon. So we've got all Greek gods, goddesses, deities, which is pretty cool. I do work with some goddesses, Persephone and Aphrodite, primarily from the Greek pantheon. And they're both in here, which is cool. But yeah, admittedly, I wouldn't probably pick this deck up, but now that I have it, I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to work for me. So this is standard tarot. It's kind of like a glossy finish. I don't know if you can see. There we go, the gloss. Standard tarot size. We do have that shiny gold gilding, which isn't my favorite, but that's okay. This is actually my last 2 card pulls that I pulled from this deck. I pulled the Page of Cups, which is, see, again, I'm not going to pronounce this because I don't know I don't know, but I pulled that, and I pulled 2 of coins, which is Oceanus. And surprisingly, like, I kind of like the artwork. I didn't think I would, but these 2 cards with the guidebook were spot on, and I was like, okay, so maybe this is the thing. So I'm just gonna flip through this, and you can see the artwork, and you can see that every single card has a corresponding Greek god, goddess, deity. So if you're into Greek myth, this could be really fun. Or if you don't know anything about Greek myth, but you're curious and you already read the tarot, this could be a really fun deck to kind of bridge that. They're a little slippy, I will say. Yeah, and the artwork is like, again, it's not my favorite, but I don't dislike it. So we've got Aphrodite for the lovers, which makes sense. And I believe Persephone is, I think she's actually the high priestess in this deck. Let's see if I can find her. I'd also be curious, anyone who does study Greek myth, how you think how well they did pairing the tarot with the deity, because I'm not really well versed in like Greek myth. I just know the ones that I work with. Yeah, so the high priestess is Persephone. This is not really how I'd picture her. It's a little, maybe that's what's bothering me with this deck. It's a little body beautiful, but it doesn't feel like computer generated, like video game style art. Like, this is a painting or a drawing, but they're a little too like perfect. I'd like a little more, I don't know, less perfect, I guess you could say. This is a beautiful card. Gaia for the world. Like, they're cool. This is a cool deck. This is really pretty too. Demeter, Calliope. Magician is Hecate. That's a cool card too. So let's just pull one card, and I'll show you how this one reads. Let's see what Greek deity wants to come through for us. Oops, that one flew out. So that was the 9 of Cups. We'll just go with that. So that is see, I'm so bad at pronouncing this. Amphitrite. It's actually really pretty. So let's go to the guidebook. 9 of Cups. Okay, so you can see in the guidebook we have a little bit about the god or goddess. We've got more keywords, and then for each one we have a risen meaning and also a fallen meaning. So I'll just read a little bit about that. So Amphitrite is goddess of the sea, which is lovely. Amphitrite is the queen of the sea and the wife of Poseidon. She was tied to fish, seals, and dolphins, and was seen as being the mother of them. So in the risen form, keywords are satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, wishes fulfilled, and success. And it says, a contrast to the tumultuous seas Poseidon can bring, Amphitrite as his partner serves to show the other side of the sea. This is a time of your life when the oceans are calm and teeming with life. You have found peace in the soft waters and are letting them wash away negativity you've experienced and hearkening an area of happiness, joy, and fulfillment. Focus on gratitude, letting yourself manifest the things that you've wished for. So we've got the fallen meaning, which is kind of like, I guess, the reversed. Keywords, lack of inner joy, dissatisfaction, disappointment, negativity, and misdirection. You have been cast adrift in the sea, assuming that an Amphitrite was guiding you, only to realize you are alone and somewhere you're not familiar with. In chasing your dreams and wishes, you may have left behind something even more important. So it's time to call for Amphitrite to guide you back through the waters and reconsider what you had originally wished for and realign it with your highest good. Let go of negativity and remember that even if you cannot see it at the moment, the ocean is teeming with life around you. So that's really beautiful, actually. I really like that reading. I feel like I needed that today. And the guidebook is really nice. Like, they have the same amount for every card, not just the majors. It's glossy too. It's really a nice size. So we've got some spreads, an Olympian spread. And then, yeah, so we have, again, the deity or the god or goddess, a little bit about them, risen and fallen, and that's for each of them, including the minors, which is really cool. And I don't think I said who created this deck. This is Helena Elias. So this is the Mythos Tarot. We've got this really pretty foil on here. So this one, you know, again, wasn't on my radar, but I'm very interested in kind of just seeing how I can kind of like slowly learn Greek myth along with my tarot practice. So I really enjoy that. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this deck, artwork. Are you interested in it? Not interested in it? Let me know down below. Okay, last deck. This is not by Rockpool. This is by Fine Torn Press. This is the Oracle of the Birds. This is a 46 card deck and guidebook. This is by Jeannie, I'm going to say Jeannie Ruland, and illustrated by Petra Kuhn. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce these. Again, this one was not on my radar, mostly because like I do kind of struggle with animal decks. So I will preface that. These are oracle size, and I will say I'm kind of being a snob, but I really don't like words on the back of my cards. So it does say the same thing on each backing, which is lift your gaze to the sky, be unique, free, and yet connected. I would much rather that be plain, but again, that doesn't bother some people, but like that's not my favorite. So these are all birds, obviously. It's the Oracle of Birds. Very pretty. It's very bright. We've got some kind of like mythical birds too. And you can see we've got a title, we've got some keywords, and then we've got like a little message on each card. So I think this is a good deck if you're a bird lover, and it's a great standalone deck because you probably don't even need the guidebook. You can kind of just use the cards. I do love hummingbirds. But again, I do kind of struggle with animal decks. So I did a couple pulls with this. The messages were lovely. I'm not sure if this is one that's going to stay with me, but I do think for someone who is a bird lover specifically, I think this is really, really lovely. It's very bright, colorful, and vibrant. I like that flamingo too. I think I pulled, did I pull Canary? No, I pulled Robin. Robin was the card I pulled last. I'll show you the guidebook too, and then we can pull one bird message. So we've got our table of contents. You can look it up by bird. A little introduction, how to work with the cards. And then we go right into the cards. So we can have like we see a black and white image. We have a meaning of the card, a message about magic feathers, which I think we have that for everyone. More meanings, and an affirmation. And we have that for the same layout for each card throughout the book. So let's pull and see what bird wants to come through. Oops. Okay, so we have the eagle. Enlightened spirit, divine guidance, take a new perspective, you are divinely guided. I feel like we're getting a lot of messages today about like new perspectives. All right, so the guidebook is in alphabetical order, which is nice. Let me take a sip of my tea and I will read. So it says here, the Great Spirit reveals itself to you. Fly like eagle, soaring high into the universe, circling and gliding on the wings of the golden light. A change of perspective is needed right now. Soar into the infinite field of consciousness. In nature and in silence, you can communicate with God and the universe. That's something to know. There are some usages of the word God, so just note that for yourself. Hand over your request and wait to see which messages and signs reveal themselves to you. Hear the call of the light within you and spread your wings to free yourself from earthly patterns and attachments. Liberated and carried by lightness, you can examine everything afresh from an all-encompassing and enlightened perspective. You are a son, you are a daughter of light. Magic feathers. My feathers symbolize the rays of the sun. They are important symbols of the sun cultures of the world. Worn in the hair, they bestow the blessings and protection of the Great Spirit. During smudging rituals, the feathers are often used to disperse incense smoke and cleanse the aura with light. So more meanings. The eagle adorns many national coats of arms, sigils of royal houses, and buildings that carry much weight and hold powers of position. Higher perspectives, higher self. Revival, increase of energy. Seek stillness in places on high. Take the lead. Choose the stillness, space, and solitude of the mountains in the presence of God. Pay attention to promptings and divinely guided signs, royal bird. And the affirmation for this one, I am in the light of the great love here. I entrust myself to divine guidance. So, I mean, it's a nice message. Again, there are mentions of God, which is not something I work with specifically. So I think that's another thing that might prevent me from really connecting with this deck. But if that's something you do connect with and or that doesn't bother you and you're a bird lover, this could be really cool. So I'm still going to give it a chance. I have a feeling this might not stay with me long term, but I'm really grateful that this was sent to me. And this is 46 cards. So this is really lovely as well. So these are all the decks we have taken a look at for today. Let me know down in the comments what you think of some of these. Are any of these ones that you would want to pick up yourself or interested in, or maybe you have no interest in? Let me know all the things down below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. It's just a free way to support my channel. And yeah, let me know all the things down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.